next equation, and I separate everything, wouldn't everything on the right and the left be exactly the same if everything were to separate? You follow me?
So they're all spectators.
They're all spectators.
But they
And so
aren't
there would be
spectating anything.
there would be no net reaction. There'd be nothing happened, right? It'd be basically mean you poured them into the same cup and now they just mix together, as opposed to pouring them together and getting a yellow stuff kind of thing. All right, so how about nickel with chloride? All right, rule for chloride says all forms soluble except no mention of nickel. So that is aqueous soluble. What about calcium with nitrate? Calcium nitrate rule says all forms soluble except no mention of calcium.
No reaction.
Soluble, no reaction. What about potassium with iodide? Well, actually, we just had that in our example too. That was the other solution. And it says that iodide, all forms soluble except no mention of potassium. So it is aqueous. What about magnesium with carbonate? Okay, very important point now. And I did not write this in your notes. You might want to write this in your notes. Group 1A, group 2A equals group 1 equals group 2. And I got to put a note in here to make that note. I don't know if I told you guys that last time.
Yeah.
I did tell you that. Okay, good. I thought I did. So I told you that when you did solubility rules. Okay. So if I look at magnesium with carbonate, the rule for carbonate says all cations form insoluble compounds. Right. So now we're looking at the potential of having a reaction here, except groups 1A and NH4. Well, we're talking about Mg with carbonate. So I'm looking at Mg. Well, Mg is not NH4. What group is Mg in? 2A, and the exception is 1A. It follows the rule. It's insoluble. Now you got to write all three equations. Na with Br, it says all forms soluble except, and there's no mention of Na, so no reaction. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, so it's soluble. Now, this one here, you're going to have to go to the table in your book because I don't have chromate on your sheet, okay? So what I would do is pick up my book and go to that table, what they say, 4.2 or something like that. So they have a different list of rules here. Okay. Okay, so they have solubility rules here. And what do they say about this chromate business? I don't even say much there. I don't like that table. That's funny. Oh, okay. Okay, it says, and again, this you would only know by looking in your book. On your test, obviously, I'm gonna stick to these rules, okay? Because this is not an all-inclusive list. But if you go to the rules on page 144, it says most sulfide, carbonate, chromate, and phosphate salts are only slightly soluble. So chromate with aluminum, at best, is going to be slightly soluble. It means you're going to get a reaction. Remember, slightly soluble means you get a precipitate. So for this last one, you would have to write the equations. Okay. So now think about this. Is this all that intimidating? You just got a lot of steps, right? And then tomorrow what we'll do is something called single replacement reactions, where everything's the same, except we don't use solubility rules to figure out how it starts. And then the last one is called neutralization, and that one's the same basic thing every single time. Okay? So just work at these next few days, and you can come in here. That quiz, by the way, is 75 points, that test. So it can really be a way to solidify your grade for the second quarter. Okay. That's all I got for you.